Hi, my name is Gary Arrowwood, and I own A3 Auto and Restoration in Harrisburg, North Carolina. And I'd like to explain to you why I believe that A3 Auto and Restoration is the best. First and foremost, we're a family-owned business. I've started the company in about 2015, somewhere in there, in my backyard. And then we moved into a different building, a little bit of better facility. And then we've moved into a really nice facility in Harrisburg. That being said, we have integrity. We're trying to try to grow and give customers the best car possible. We've learned a lot along the way. We are not perfect by no means, but we want to strive to be better. We are very heartfelt people. We want your classic to be perfect for you. My agenda on a hot rod or a classic may not be your agenda on a hot rod or a classic. So we want to listen to you and give you what you want. Now, that being said, there's a couple things that I'd like to explain. One is I hear all the time, I can't get my car in the shop. They're years behind. Well, we're years behind. But where we differ from everybody else is we have a contract. So you sign the contract, come in, talk to us, we'll talk about your build, we'll get a scale down of what you want to do, or engine, transmission, paint and body, sandblast, frame off, whatever it is. And then we take that and we break it down into, I call it like a payment plan. So you get billed every other week or once a month, whatever's creditable for you. And then we work on the car as many hours as you want us to. So most of the time, if you would take a car to a shop to get your car done, then let's say you're a middle-aged man, okay? And you got a family and your dad gave you a 69 Camaro. That's my favorite car. So if he gave you a 69 Camaro and God forbid he passed away, so then you want to get it restored. Well, you can't because you have a family and you have a house and you have bills and you're real like me and you have real bills. So eventually some people are hardcore and they're like, I'm never getting rid of it, and they let it rust down around them. Or they say, I'm going to fix that one day, and then something happens in life where they can't. So what we do, and I've looked at all these scenarios because I'm saying this from experience from myself. My thing is, if you want to get the car done, we can do the car over time. Now, sitting in your garage or sitting in my garage, it doesn't matter. It's still sitting. So the thing is, you bring the car. You're on contract with us, okay? Nuts and bolts of it. You come out here and say, hey, I want to build this car and I want to build it. I don't care how long it takes. Now, if you mean that we can help you. And we get the car in here, we start on it. We do 3 hours a week. We do 4 hours a week, whatever. We bill you that at the end of the 2-week period or the month period, whatever we agree on. Then it's like making a credit card payment. Well, I know it takes a long time to get the car done, but at least the car's getting worked on. That helps me and you both. One, it helps me keep working for my guys, and it also gets your car worked on. So your car's not sitting idle at your house for 25 years and you can't never get it done. Now that's one scenario. So we have another scenario where people have the money and they don't mind paying to get it done. And at that point, it doesn't matter. They come in, they say, hey, I want to go on contract. I want you to work on it 5 days a week. That's fine. We can do that also. Then you have another scenario where you're like, hey, my wife drives a Honda. My wife drives a Suburban. My wife drives, whatever. And I need an oil change. Great, got you. Hey, man, I need 4 tires. Great, got you. I just want to tell you that we're real. We're real people. We understand. We're not trying to get rich off of anybody. We're not trying to, just take one person and just like, okay, I need all your money. We don't do stuff like that. And this ain't a sales pitch. This is just an explainer why that I think we're the best. That's one of the reasons that I think we're the best. Two, like I said before, getting in the shop. Just had a contract the other day with a guy come up here, and he said, "Hey, I've been waiting for 9 months to talk to this guy, to talk to him." You can talk to me any day. Talking to me is not a problem. We'll figure out what you want to do. We'll put you on the schedule. We'll get you started. However, whenever, it's up to you. You're the owner of the car. You tell me what you want to do. I work for you. Then we build a platform and a relationship together. I'm trying to build relationships, not customers. I want customers, but customers are one-timers. Customers come in, get the car done, they leave. I want you to come in and eat barbecue with me. I want you to come in and say, "Okay, I'm here Friday. Let's look at my car." I want you to come in and say, "Hey, when we have a get-together or we have an event, I want you to come out and support us. I want you to be proud that we built your car and that your car is beautiful." Now, we are human. We've made mistakes, but we try to learn from them. And then when we do make a mistake, we make it right. It ain't, "Oh, we made a mistake on your car and you're on your own now." We try to make it right. Now, there's both sides of that spectrum. One is some people are just, "Hey, I blew it. I blew this thing up. Whatever. I ran into a pole. I scratched it. Great." And then some people, unfortunately, they're like, "I didn't do nothing wrong and it just come apart." And then I find out later that something's happened. I still fix it, but then that builds kind of a wall, and I don't like to go down that rabbit hole. But unfortunately, that's the situation. I'm pretty good at figuring out who has done what to what. So another reason that I think that we are the best is our product. So we try to use the top products out on the market today. We have a lot of people that work with us hand in hand. Masterpowerbrakes, as you can see behind me, and Aces Fuel System. We work with them. We work with Speedway Motors. We work with Speedmaster. We just signed a deal with them, getting their parts and products in-house. At our events, we use them. We put their banners up. We sponsor their stuff. We also use all that in-house. We use engine tech, a lot of engine tech parts for our engine builds. We have a big supply of machine stuff for machining engines. In our engine room, we have a complete engine room where we build all the motors, LS platforms, regular engines. We use that Liberty in Charlotte. We get really good deals on aluminum heads, stuff like that. We can pass along to you, great savings. And again, that helps keep the cost down on your build. So your build turns out being phenomenal. It looks great, has great parts in it. But we're not paying the JEGs or the Summit prices. Some of the higher end stuff that we normally would buy, that we used to buy, and it actually hurt the customer because we was paying twice what we should be paying for it. So therefore, now we can get it for what they're getting it for, and put it on your, build your product, and get you a better deal. Same thing with paint supplies, body supplies. So we've had a deal with Bradley's forever, and we kind of get a little better deal on some stuff, and so we take that and we pass the savings to you. We have our economy line stuff that we do, just our regular parts houses in town. I mean, most people know that we get a lot of stuff from there. It's no big secret. But the thing is, we can get the parts cheaper than you can. So when we get it cheaper than you can, and we put it on the bill cheaper than you can, and it's still cheaper once you get your bill than you going and buying a part and trying to put it on, it's a win-win for everybody. Our higher end stuff, our performance stuff, we definitely do complete high end detail. We're we're not gonna sacrifice when it comes to something like that. But like your basic Hondas and stuff you drive every day, your daily driver, stuff like that with brakes and stuff, we're gonna do an economy and save you money. So again, that goes to a big thing, and nowadays is saving you money. So the more money I can save you, the more apt that people are going to come and want to get their product, get their cars fixed here, because we have the product to do it. We try to keep some stuff in stock, but unfortunately there's so many different vehicles, it's kind of hard to do that. So you'd come in, you get your stuff, we'd order it, and that'd be that. I try to put people first on every situation, whether you need a ride back home or you need, call somebody and say, hey, look, my car's broke. Here's what I need to do. Or, hey, man, I just need to call and talk to you and say, hey, look, I figured this out. Can I do this at home? Can I pick your brain for something? We do that too. I'll pick you up off the side of the road if I need to. I've come and picked cars up. We have a truck. We have a car. We have a car hauler. We go get your build. We bring it into the house. We just have good customer service. We have a friendly staff here. We make sure that everybody in the front office is very friendly when you come in. We have a service writer, very friendly. We'll make sure that when you talk, when they're talking to you, that have your best interest at heart. And there's no scamming. It is what it is. Sometimes honesty is the best policy. I mean, if you don't like the price, you don't like the price. But if you don't like what's going on, you don't. But most of the time, I've not had any problems with anybody complaining about parts or service or anything. You always get that one, but normally everybody is like, hey, these people went out of their way to help, to get me off the side of the road, to come get my car. Something breaks down, even like in afternoons. I mean, if something happens, you pick your car up late, it breaks down, something happens, or if you're going home from work and the car breaks down or whatever, you call us. We're going to try to get somebody there. We have a tow company I deal with directly, and I make a phone call, they go pick it up, and they get it to the shop. We'll get your car secured so that nobody's not sitting on the side of the road, not tore up. And again, that's just your general stuff. That's not your hot rod stuff. Now, unfortunately, hot rod stuff does break, and it's old stuff sometimes, and you have to have somebody to tow it in. And that's fine. I can get that done, get it here, get it secured. My goal is your car is my car. Kind of like, I feel like it's my responsibility to make sure your car's taken care of, and it's taken care of in neat and a nice manner. If we have a deadline to meet, we're going to stay and work. I mean, we've worked a bunch of hours for, to get this deadline, to get it done. Now, can we meet all the deadlines? Can we meet? No, can't, because we don't have enough time in the day. Big thing is, people don't understand how hard it is to get a car done. I mean, and the people that are watching this that know that you're gearheads, and hey man, I built a car, I know how long it takes, then you understand. But the people that are kind of, they're on the fence, they watch a lot of TV and they bought this car and whatever, and they don't really understand that, then they're kind of like, hey, why is it taking so long? Well, if you run into an electrical issue, if you run into, motor mount issues, or now you got to go get the right parts, or they sent the wrong stuff. I mean, it's not like it used to be. Like you call up and say, hey, I need this part. Well, guess what? They send the wrong stuff. Well, then I call again. Well, by the way, we don't have it. It'll be 3 days before we get it. Well, I mean, I've got to deal with that. So then we move on to something else on the car. There's a difference between just dragging your feet on the car and not having parts, or not being able to do this or that to get the car finished. So again, we're not going to make excuses. We're just going to tell you straight up, if I can't get it, I can't get it. If it takes a minute to get it, it takes a minute. But honestly, we're going to be honest with you. I'm not trying to fabricate something, make some kind of lie up, or I've been in shops where people do that. I'm like, no, it's straight up business. You say, hey, this is that. I mean, we got to make it happen. Trying to jump through hoops, making it happen for you is our goal. And like I said, this is what I'm in business for. I'm in business to satisfy the customer, to give you what you want. And so that's one of the things we're really trying to please to do. Another reason I think that we're really good and we're the best out there is because our employees. We have top-notch employees. They are all learning on different criterias. They're cross training on different things, but each one of the employees that I've got is designated for what they was hired for. Like I have a mechanic and he is a real good mechanic, and I have an electrician guy, and I have a guy that does nothing but wiring, and I have somebody that does, just body work, and I have somebody that does metal work, and so those fields are, direct to that field. But I want my body guy to know metal work, and I want my metal work guy to know mechanic work, because what happens if they're sick? What happens if they're out? A lot of places don't think that way, and I have used that excuse, and it's not really an excuse. It's a, hey, I don't have anybody today. My mechanic laid out, and I can't get it done, so I'm gonna have to go out there and help trying to get it done. Well, the big problem is, if I have them cross-trained, then I can pull them off a job that's not so critical and go to a job that is critical, which could be your job. That being said, I want to cross-train my guys. So as the more I cross-train, the more I do, better off we are as a whole. Same thing. Our service writer, she knows basic mechanics, and can do some small things, brakes, stuff like that. Of course, I wouldn't try to use her for that, but if we needed to, we could. In a pinch, we could make something happen. So that way we're still getting the product done as fast as possible in an orderly manner, and getting it back to you as fast as possible. Another thing we have, to offer, we do a lot of videos, and we do a lot of stuff of your car. So your car comes in, we do a beginning and after footage of your car. And then we do a finished, we post it on a social platform. If you want to, you sign a waiver. If you don't, whatever, and that's fine. But then you can see the whole process of your car live, like you can see it. Then we cut up a little bit, we have fun in the shop, so that's not just your mundane, okay, it's 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, I'm tired, I don't really want to. And so it gets the guys pumped to work on your car, and it's fun, and you see the skits and stuff, and that's how we do things, and it's kind of fun. And then I'm gonna speak on pricing. So the biggest problem with people working on their car, I spoke about this earlier, basically is your pricing. We do everything we can do to match pricing with anybody. We are only $100 an hour to do restoration work. If your car is in this shop and you're actively on contract to work, unless you don't pay your bill and don't come get your car, you don't pay a storage fee. Every shop that I have talked to, and I talk to a lot of different shops that do this work, everybody charges a storage fee if you're not paying them. That car is sitting there, they are, unless it's some small shop somewhere, and I've talked to the major shops, the bigger shops, the ones that are in scale of in line of what we do. Everybody may not be this way, so don't take it like I've talked to everybody in North Carolina, but the majority of the shops that are like us, they charge a storage fee for your car to sit there. I've had cars for 2 years that I've not even talked to the customers. They've never called me, and I still ain't charged them a storage fee. And people say, well, you got to charge them. Well, I don't think that. I think that if they don't have a place to put their car, a lot of times, hey man, I'm building a house, I want to get my car done, so I'm moving, or my house ain't done yet, whatever. There is situations to where, like, man, I understand. I don't want to be paying for a house and then worrying about where my car's at if we're working on your car. Now, I can't have a car come down here and be like, okay, I'm going to just park it on your lot and then we're just going to leave it there. That's not how it works. But if you actively have a contract and we can actually work on your car, there's no storage fee. Some stores, I've talked to some people, and they charge $125 a day whether they touch it or they don't. And I don't know that that's right. I disagree with that personally, because you're paying to get the car done, and then you're turning around and paying a fee for the car to sit there. Now, can that make somebody money? Yeah, it makes money, but it's really hurting the customer. That is really not good for the customer base, and I don't think that's good customer service. I think if you're giving us the benefit of working on the car and you're trusting us with your ride, I think we ought to be able to build your car and not have to charge you a daily storage fee. I think that should be within like a shop fee or whatever fee that we use. If we use a roll of paper, we use a roll of paper. If we use tape, we use tape. That's a physical thing. Your car just sitting here, it's not a physical thing for me to bill. Unfortunately, I get a lot of backlash from people saying you should charge this, you should charge that. No, I don't think so. I think I'm going to keep it that way. as long as people, respect what we have, and pick their car up in a timely manner or pay for their bill, I'm not charging those fees. Most shops, and I worked at a shop for a long time, been in the industry my whole life. Most shops, if you're on my lift, you're costing me money. I got cars been sitting on a lift for 3 months. Never charge them a lift fee. I mean, most shops say they need to make $1,100 to $1,200 a day on my lift. And, man, I've had them 3 months on there and ain't made a dime. But, the thing is, that's customer service. Just not trying to rake our customers over the coals. I mean, I don't want to double charge for anything. I'm working on your car and charging you for working on your car, then I'm gonna turn around and charge you for it sitting here. I think that's double dipping. So I don't agree with it. So as long as we can, that's what we're gonna do. That's another reason I think that we're the best. And I will tell you the main reason, and this is the main reason that why we're the best, is because this business was founded on principles of Christ. This business was founded straight from God. When we opened this business, we did a lot of praying about it, and I actually had some meetings with my pastor about it and got, confirmation to open the business. I was in a different field. At that time, I had gave up automotive for probably 5 years, 6 years. And I went to work for a different place and out of automotive altogether. And I loved it. Honestly. But I started building a car. Me and my wife just said, hey, one day I want to build a car. So I found this truck and we started building it. And everybody's like, hey, can you do this kind of work? And, I'm like, yeah, unfortunately, I've been doing it. And I didn't really know that I wanted to get back in it. And for whatever reason, it's like anybody else could relate. Once you get away from it, you kind of always go back. You always kind of have that desire. So I started working on that truck. People was like, hey, can you work on this? Can you work on that? I started doing things. Next thing I know, I'm building this truck. Then my wife's like, well, you know what? I want my first car back. So we started digging for our first car. Couldn't find it. Then we did find it. Then the guy wouldn't sell it. So then we bought the same car. And fortunately, we've been working on it for 6.5 years. It's not finished, but we're still working on it. I told my wife, I said, hey, I've got to have a lift. I got to have this to work on the cars. Well, I was making good side money. So on my days off, I'd work. And then it grew and it grew and it grew and it grew. And it grew out of hand. And then the next thing I know, I'm building another shop at the house. And then I'm doing that. And then I'm taking on employees and I'm starting there. And I'm trying to do the young people and train on people that want to get involved. And so then I've got them involved and started them. And then, they had other job opportunities come open. They're still going to college, and then they ended up getting a better job. They ended up leaving me, so back and forth. And then I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to open this thing full time. So I did some praying about it, thinking about, hey, this is what I want to do. I always wanted to have, I always had that dream. And then I just started praying about it. And then God just made things happen one step at a time. Getting equipment, getting a shop. First shop we got into was super cheap. We was able to. It's really nice. And it was really affordable. So we got into it. We got it done. And then the next shop, we moved up, built, at my other house, I built the paint booth and we built some things and fixed some more concrete and just did some more revamping and making things nice. And then we just had to have another building. And then I finally, I had a friend that said, hey, I know a guy. And so we ended up getting the shop that we have now, and which is really nice. And we have front offices upstairs, downstairs, have back offices. It's really a big, nice industrial building. And so we have plenty of room to do anything we need to do. And unfortunately, we've done about outgrown it. We're really going. I went to a lot of these other shops and they got 5 or 6, 7 cars in there. I mean, we are doing, an average of 20 to 25 cars at any time here. We rotate around so everybody don't have such a big bill like we've done spoke about. But when I did the praying about this thing, got my family to pray about it, got multiple people in the church to pray about it, and got, my preacher. And I said, look, and then he told me, and he said, hey, you got to do what you got to do on this. He said, I believe that, this is something that God's wanting you to do. And I was like, I want to do this. And so I think God's been in it, paying missions and tithes. And honestly, if you take care of, the man of God, and you take care of the church and the widows in the church and the widows in general, just trying to help people and be a good help, and you're honest, you'll get work. And that's it. That's why we're so busy right now that we can't see straight. And I do believe that's one of the reasons, because God gives us that, and He's always going to give us that. And every week I come in, and I mean, this may be too much, but we come in and we're like, where's it coming from? How are we going to pay the bills? Everybody does that. In this business, is exactly the same way. How are we going to pay the rent? How are we going to pay these credit card payments? You know what I'm saying? How are we going to make these bills? But God always makes a way. And it doesn't never faze me. I'll come in and start a conversation about, hey, with our directors, and say, hey, how are we going to pay, this bill this month? And then the next thing I know, I get a customer come in the door and say, hey, I want to sign a contract, and I want this, $70,000 car bill. Great. And we just took another, you know what I'm saying? So God has always delivered, and everything in this building, shop, everything is His. This is not mine. I did not build this by myself. It took a bunch of people, all the people that work for me, some people in my past, some people that's helped me before, has got this to where it's at. And God has always been there, putting His final seal on it. Have I always acted right, done right? No. Has He been upset with me? Absolutely. But He's always been faithful, and He's always gave me what I need to make this work for you. So that is the number one, 100% reason why I believe that we're the best. And I think God's going to let us become the best and stay the best, is because, we do the work that we're doing. And we have integrity, and we're not going to lie, and we're not going to cheat people out of stuff, and we're just not going to do that. We make a mistake, we're going to make it right. And I think that's a big thing in today's time, just having integrity and be willing to work. Just come out, be willing to work. And so we put a lot of hours in here. To everybody that's out there that's watching, that has a car here, or that has had a car here, just be known that we don't just work an 8 to 5. Our hours are 8 to 5, but man, there's a lot behind the scenes people don't understand. There's been nights where my guys is here to midnight and trying to get a wiring problem fixed, or an issue fixed, or something finished, so the next morning we can deliver your car. Many times, and a lot of times they don't even charge me for it. They'll get paid 40 hours, and they will work tirelessly to get the car done. And so that says a lot about integrity. But I give glory to God for everything we have here. I have a wonderful family. I have a wonderful church family, and I have a wonderful group of people here, and everybody here strives to serve the Lord, and as what they're doing. And that is exactly why I believe, number one, that we're the best. And so if you want to come out and see us, see what we're about, we do have events. We do. Check us out on Facebook. We got some Instagram. We got, I don't think we do Twitter, but I know we do TikToks, videos, stuff like that. So you can check us out on there, see if you like us. Come out and speak with me. If you got a car, you want to talk about it, hey, come bring it out. We can do business, or we don't have to. It doesn't matter either way, but at least give us a shot. It's just, wherever. And it doesn't matter what part of the country you're in. If you're anywhere in the United States and we need to get it here, get the car here, we'll make a way. We'll figure it out. We do a lot of stuff that's not just here locally. We do stuff all over the place. So that being said, we're willing to travel to get your car, help you find a car. And that's another good thing that we do. So, and I'll just hit this real quick. But if you decide to build a car, you can come say, hey, I want to build this car without even having a car, and let me help you find one. Because then we find one that's not pretty, and it's full of rust, or full of Bondo, or bad motor, or whatever, and I can give you my opinion. Hey, this is what we need. This is what we need. we can make that work. But again, just I'll help you in any way I can. Like I said, I'm the owner of A3 Auto and Restoration. Love what we do here. We're having a great fun time doing it. And we're not going anywhere. We're here. And so if you come out, you want to see us, hey, we're here in Harrisburg, 5540 Moorhead Road, Harrisburg, Building 5A, where all the cars are. Just come check us out, and we can talk about it. We love America, and we're going to build American-made cars. That's just how it is. And if anybody needs anything, feel free to call us, 704-305-6094. Again, 704-305-6094. Thank you very much.